Think you can replace me with some other guy? Go ahead. It won't be the same. You may think I'm losing, but I'm not.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
We all remember 2.5 Men. Charlie Sheen represented a toned-down version of himself.
Hold on, bro. Dude, nice job. You win. Sorry.
John Cryer was the OG of simps, and Angus T. Jones was a silly and cute child, before becoming a weird adult. Another thing we remember was the controversial departure of Charlie Sheen, who, despite earning a shitload of money, decided to let his intrusive thoughts and substance abuse win, and left cursing absolutely anyone involved in the process. The scolding to fix this mess fell on lap of Ashton Kutcher, whose talent was as useful in saving the show as his brown belt in jiu-jitsu. In other words, none. What few people remember, especially because there weren't many people who had the courage to follow the horror that became the show after Charlie Sheen's departure, is its bizarre ending, which we will be reviewing today. But first, I would just like to ask you to subscribe to the channel, leave a thumbs up, and click the bell to help us. Now let's get to the content. Let's recap a little. Charlie Sheen left the program after numerous anti-Semitic comments against Chuck Lorre. At this point in the championship, everyone already knows about this.
If sad and stupid had a foul odor attached, it would be you, fuck Bory.
And what is also obvious is that if it weren't for this being an extremely profitable show, this was the ideal time for it to end, and the audience dropped year after Ashton Kutcher's entry shows it. But the truth is that the show already saw its comedic quality falling, even before Sheen departure. The dynamics of the group, with Jake for example getting older, that dynamic of the child being simultaneously stupid, cute, and naive, was not well replaced by an inconsequential and often irritating teenager. And as for the other characters, a bit that nothing happened. We followed year after year, the same characters, doing the same things and never actually having a development that engaged the audience. But the point is that there were other reasons to end the show after its 8th season, other than only Sheen's departure. But as we all know, it didn't end. And those who had the courage to follow along in the following years had to put up with clueless ideas, like Walden's character having a gorilla brother, or Jake falling in love with Miley Cyrus. Many crazy things that led up to the fateful day of its end. By this point, even Chuck Lorre wasn't hiding the fact that he had no interest in maintaining a cohesive storyline. The humor had devolved into something that I can't even call breaking the fourth wall or meta-commentary. It was beyond that, but not in a good way. It was awkward and completely off-timed.
Amazing that you've made so much money with such stupid jokes.
So, the episode starts with a previously on 2.5 Men segment, recalling Charlie's funeral, which was closed casket because he supposedly fell in front of a train, implying that Rose pushed him. Then, it cuts to Rose visiting what's clearly a Silence of the Lambs basement to feed him. A bowling shirt falls down a well. Surprise, Charlie's been alive this whole time. Meanwhile, Alan receives a letter saying there's $25 million in royalties from children's songs that Charlie wrote. Of course, Alan, being his greedy and selfish self, tries to outmaneuver his mom to get the death certificate, but Evelyn doesn't have it. So they go to see Jenny, Charlie's illegitimate daughter. At that moment, a $100,000 check arrives for her, as well as for some of Charlie's other ex-girlfriends.
I'm telling you, Charlie's alive.
Oh, good. Then I don't have to tell you.
In the next episode, it's time for Rose to explain what really happened in this plot twist that the writers clearly pulled out of thin air. If things were strange before, now they take a dive into the absurd. An animation sequence that looks like one of those weird drawings from Twitter starts playing, and basically it goes like this. Rose caught Charlie in Paris, in bed with a bunch of people and a goat. They argued at the train station, and as he tried to apologize, she pushed him. But it was the goat that fell onto the tracks. It was the goat's body that was cremated, and its ashes have been scattered around. For comic relief, she kept Charlie imprisoned in a Silence of the Lambs scenario for 4 years. That's it. They panic and go to the police, where the detective is Arnold Schwarzenegger. The joke here is that he repeats the entire plot of the series, questioning how idiotic it all was.
Right, now let me see if I got this straight. 12 years ago, your wife kicked you out, and then you and your dumb son moved in with your brother.
He wasn't dumb at the beginning. He got dumb later on.
What happened?
Well, turned out it was funnier.
All right. So your brother then let you stay there 8.5 years rent-free, even though he claimed that he never liked you.
You're not the only one to point out the illogic.
So they go back home. Then Schwarzenegger calls to say they caught Charlie. Everyone relaxes. But surprise, it's actually Christian Slater. Meanwhile, Charlie, well, a guy dressed like him, appears from behind, heading for the door. They see a grand piano being lowered by a helicopter. So maybe this AC Me style finale makes sense in a twisted way. But isn't it a bit pathetic to dedicate so much screen time in a popular TV series just to mock a former employee who was strung out on drugs during the time you were feuding?
We never met, but I'm the guy who took your place. Thanks for giving up your house. I guess you didn't really give it up, you died. You'd have to be on crack to give up all this.
This is Charlie Harper in the presidential suite. I'm gonna need a bucket of ice, a bottle of scotch, and 2 Asian hookers. You know what? They're small. Make it 3. Yes, thanks. Winning.
Sorry, winning. You starting to get the concept now? Oops, winning.
It's even worse when you compare it to other successful series finales. I'm not just talking about excellent shows like Breaking Bad. Even other sitcoms like How I Met Your Mother, despite its controversial ending, delivered a finale with care from the people involved. But Alan wasn't even firmly together with Lindsay, and Walden didn't seem to get any closure. The characters were just stuck between one episode and the next, and Berta's jokes were mostly about how it made no sense for any of them to still be there. And in the end, it is just what it is, a nonsense that has been profitable for years. And the biggest culprits are not Charlie Sheen, Chuck Lorre, Ashton Kutcher, or any of the people involved in the production, but rather us, who we watched, commented, and made this show the success that it is, even if it wasn't interested in showing the same affection in its last seasons. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it and stayed here, I ask that you subscribe to the channel and leave a thumbs up. That's it. See you later.